Hi, my name is Max Gonowan, and I'm a lawyer at Patel Legal, and I'm here today to talk to you about cross leases. So what are cross leases? Basically, it's a type of property ownership, quite similar to freehold property, which some of you may have heard of, which is a type of property ownership that imposes as little restrictions as possible. Cross leases are a creature of freehold property ownership, with some very important differences. So it was used between the 1960s and 1990s to make property ownership a little bit easier and a way for developers to build more than one property without encountering too many council bylaws. And it works by making more than two owners as owners of a parcel of land. So in this example, we'll say A, B, and C of a particular parcel of land. Now, A, B, and C will be pleased that they're owners of the land, but not so pleased that they don't really know which part of the land that they actually own. So what cross leases do is that they actually make A, B, and C landlords over separate parts of the land over which each one of them have exclusive use. Now, A, for example, will be the tenant over there, B will be the tenant of that particular site, and C will be the tenant of that particular site. Now, even though we use the words landlords and tenants, in reality, no rent is actually paid for, for a vast majority of the cross leases that we deal with. And you'll have a situation where in the registered flats plan, in the title, you'll have, for example, the flat over there, and any other structures that are on the dwelling, and that's important. Because, for example, if there's if on the flats plan there's a flat over there, but there's a garage that is there in real life but is not registered in the flats plan, that's quite a serious title issue, and it can actually make it very, very difficult for you to sell the property in the future. And for example, in another situation, you can have a flat over there and have an extension over there. Now, the important consideration here is that if you're going to be building a separate structure that adds to the footprint of the dwelling there, you need to make sure that you get the consent of all of the other unit owners. So in this particular case, if you want to do an extension on that flat, you need to make sure, if you're B, you need to get the consent of A and C. In a real life example, our client was actually the owner of a particular flat where the neighbor had a garage that wasn't in the flats plan. Now, they were quite lucky because our client was quite reasonable. It didn't impose too many conditions, but there have been other nightmare situations. And even in that simple situation, my best estimate is that the neighbor probably would have spent between $10,000 to $15,000 to remedy that defect in the title. Now, even with the drawbacks of cross leases, still a lot of people buy cross leases, and in fact a number of our clients have bought cross leases without encountering any issues whatsoever. But the important part there is making sure that you get good legal advice before you sign the contract or before you declare the agreement unconditional if you're planning to buy a cross lease property. So I hope that the presentation has been informative. If you have any questions, make sure that you speak to your lawyer. Thank you.